Welcome to the class on reading comprehension. In these classes, I would be discussing the various kind of questions that are asked in banking and insurance examinations. The first kind of questions that I would discuss are the main idea questions. Main idea questions have been asked in almost every examination and across all the RCs. I am very sure if you have gone through a couple of examinations in the past year or have gone through a couple of mock tests, you would have found these main idea questions a lot of times there. So let us understand what is main idea. Main idea is defined as the specific idea, point or thought that the author will either try to prove, disprove or support, negate or list it plainly. I'll spend some time over here to explain this. If you closely see all the passages, I can plainly list them down into two different buckets. One are the opinions and the second are the factual based RCs. Now in an opinion, the author will take one side. It could either be to support, either it could be to negate, or it could be a neutral thing. So if I take up a social evil called dowry system, I would across all the paragraphs in the RC try to show that dowry system is bad for the society. On the other hand, if I am writing a comprehension on Taj Mahal, I cannot really take sides. I would plainly list down all the characteristics of Taj Mahal and in a paragraph probably go to the historical side of the things. What is the importance of main idea? Now main idea is something that sets the course for the complete writing piece. Imagine reading a 700-word piece of writing which is confusing just because the author is dwindling between different topics and themes. I'll spend some time over on this slide. I'll read to the slide first. Why is there a main idea in the writing piece? Now, theoretically speaking, we have a communication model in which the receiver of the message is always deemed to be more important than the sender. Let's take a small example here. Imagine someone is speaking to you in German language. He might be a very good orator on that, but since you do not know German, you would not understand even a word of what he is saying. That means you might not feel to listen to him more. Why? Because you're not understanding anything. That means the whole communication becomes worthless. Why am I saying this? I'll take you through two different paragraphs. The first paragraph is, he has been the world's best cricketer. He holds the unique distinction of scoring the highest number of centuries in test matches and one-day international. And recently he was awarded the highest civilian award of the country, Bharat Ratna. Now if at the end of this paragraph I ask you, who is this person I am talking about? A lot of you might reply by saying that the person that I'm talking about is none other than Sachin Tendulkar. But did I tell you about this person, that the person that I'm talking about is Sachin Tendulkar? No. Why? Because at no point of time I told you that during the RC that the person that I'm talking about is Sachin Tendulkar. I only kept on writing he. But you inferred that the person that I'm talking about is Sachin because you were carrying certain kind of knowledge from the external world to the examination hall. Now there's a very important learning over here. You cannot carry any external information with you to the examination hall. That means you cannot infer that the person who I was talking about had to be Sachin Tendulkar. I could give you another example on this. If I come out with another paragraph where I say, he has been the world's best footballer. He was recently awarded the highest football award in the complete European subcontinent. And he has this unique distinction of scoring the highest number of goals for his Champions League team and his country. Now I would not get who I am talking about, right? That means it becomes important for me to tell you the name of the person who I am talking about, because if I do not tell it, I would lose my interest. Does every writing piece has a main idea? Essentially, yes. Remember, without a main idea, the writing piece may not make sense as it would have done with a clearly listed down main idea. We discussed it, the importance of main idea questions at the start of the class. Main idea questions have almost been an integral part of every RC. Rest assured, out of the 3-4 RCs that come in the exam, at least 2 of them are expected to have this type. So you cannot leave these kind of questions. How do you approach the main idea questions? Remember, all the writing pieces in the world essentially follow 2 formats. The first one is general to specific, which is 90% of the writing pieces. The other one is specific to general, which is 10% of the writing pieces. Now, what do I mean by saying general to specific and specific to general? If suppose I give you a paragraph which says there have been a lot of social evils which are prevalent in our country, like dowry system, caste based discrimination, sati system. Out of all these, dowry system is the one which needs government's major attention. Now, if I end this paragraph over here and I ask every one of you that after this paragraph, will I be focusing on all the social levels or will I just be focusing on dowry evil? A lot of you might reply that I would be focusing only on dowry evil, because what I did was I listed a couple of social levels, but out of them I focused and picked on dowry system. That means I was very generic when I started with the RC, but then I became very specific towards the social level called dowry system. That is, in other words, saying that I moved from being general to being specific. Where to look out for the main idea? Remember, I told you that the major focus of a writing piece is for the readers. Now, if I keep on writing he every time in the different paragraphs, I would lose my interest and would not read it further. On that logic, logically speaking, where would I want to introduce my main idea? I would want it to introduce it as early as possible, so that the reader at least knows that what he is going to read about. That means the main idea is expected to be a part of the first paragraph, or at worst the main idea is expected to be a part of the second paragraph and not beyond that. Remember, the above theoretical framework applies to the comprehensions that follow a general to specific format. In the comprehensions that follow a specific to general format, the main idea is expected to be a part of the last paragraph. If you closely look through this slide, I have given you different wordings in which the main idea question can be asked to you in the examination. Main idea, central idea, driving point of the author, contention of the author, and focus of the author is on. These are the different wordings which could be given to you in the examination. All these wordings essentially mean that you are being asked the main idea. The most important slide and the most important part of the classroom, options and how to eliminate them. Remember this very clearly. English is very different from maths, considering the fact that in maths a 2 plus 2 will always be 4. If you move to English, a 2 plus 2 can actually be 3 and can actually at times be 5, because it is very author dependent, because it's a language. So why am I saying all these things? Because in English you don't go with the correct answer. You always and always will go and take the best possible answer. That means I would rather not be straight away jumping to the answer. I would rather be focusing on the options and trying to eliminate them and then picking out the best possible answer. Now, how do I eliminate options? Suppose you have a paragraph which is talking about a war between India and China, right? Now, a war could be of a lot of types. It is not specific to military war. It could be a sports war, it could be economic war, it could be a political war. And suppose the author has talked about different kinds of war in different paragraphs. Eliminate an option which talks about the main idea of a specific paragraph and not the whole RC. Suppose option number A talks about only and only military war. Remember, the paragraph is there which talks about military war, but that's only one paragraph, and we have other paragraphs which talk about different kind of wars. That means all I'm talking about during the whole passage is war and not just military war. That means this becomes too specific and the option needs to be eliminated. Contradicting the information given in the RC. Remember, there is a war going on, if suppose there is an option that talks about peace talks happening between the two prime ministers of the country, I will eliminate it because during the war there are no peace talks. Option which is too generic in nature have to be eliminated. Option which adds a new information to the RC. Suppose there is an option that starts talking about a war between India and Pakistan. I need to eliminate that option. Why? Because I am not talking about a war between India and Pakistan. I am only specifically talking about a war between India and China. Option that restates the information in the RC. An example over here could be converting the active voice in the RC to the passive voice for the same information. After eliminating all these options on these different contexts, the option that I would be left with will become your answer to go for. I hope this session was useful for you. I will catch you all in the next session. Thank you.